It's the most wonderful time of the year. Football's back, ladies and gentlemen. NFL Week 1, the Brew Party's back. Episode 110. Andy Hopper here with longtime friend of the party, resident Eagles fan, Sporty Jordy is joining me this week. We are going to talk some NFL. We're going to give out our picks for Week 1. We're going to talk some Eagles. We're going to talk some Bears. Before we get into all of that, I want to remind you, please like and subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/The Brew Party. Comment on this video. Tell me your favorite team. Tell me your picks for this weekend. Tell me how much my picks suck. I don't care. Just watch the video, like it, tell a friend who tells a friend. You can see it down here. Join the party on YouTube. Follow us on all of our social medias as well. Facebook at the Brew Party Podcast, and then everywhere else we're at the Brew Party. So Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Give us a follow. Jordy, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. This is awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. There's so much betting for us to get into. We can be full degenerates this weekend, and I'm looking forward to it.
Every weekend is what I'm planning on. So before we get into it, let's plug you. So obviously you with our good friend Sam, the Unsolicited podcast. It's been going great. What else you got going on?
Yeah, so make sure to subscribe to us over at Unsolicited everywhere. We talk sports, pop culture, a little bit of everything. And then all my socials right now are at the Sporty Jordy. And then my YouTube is even at the Sporty Jordy. Going to be doing weekly videos coming out every Wednesday, kind of recapping the week prior, looking ahead. I'll be throwing some locks in those videos too. So that'll be fun. And then, yeah, of course, on TikTok for all the chaotic energy all the time.
I love it. I just saw your TikTok yesterday of you somehow very impressively getting your new chair up those stairs and into your apartment. So
Thank you.
Good on you. Check her out everywhere. She has awesome content. Must follow for all NFL fans, not just Eagle fans. Super, super happy to have you. So let's get right into it. So NFL Week 1 is here. Thursday night football. Sunday night football on Thursday night on NBC, technically. The Lions and the Chiefs. And God damn it, Man Campbell and the Detroit Lions marched into Kansas City and stole a win from the Chiefs. Albeit Patrick Mahomes was throwing to dudes with bricks on their hands and guys that look like me. So you could see how they would have lost. But I was super impressed with the Lions. I took the Lions money line. I had the Lions spread. Jordan, what'd you think? I think it was a great way to start the season.
Yeah, Chiefs loss was like everything that I could have asked for to kick off the 2023 NFL season. But no, honestly, coming into this year, like obviously they just beat my Eagles in the Super Bowl. So a little animosity there, a little tension between me and the Chiefs, but can't deny how great Patrick Mahomes is. And I was super hesitant. I was all over the Lions. I sprinkled a little on the spread, but for some reason I was really gung-ho on Lions money line. And I kept having this debate with myself. And I was like, am I doing this just because I'm still mad at the Chiefs, or is there really something cooking with the Lions? And I don't know. At the end of last season, I'm pretty sure they won like 8 of their last 10. Like they were just cruising. Right. Dan Campbell is just a miracle, man. So I was like, no, I really think they have it going for them. And that was even before all the Travis Kelce news. And then obviously when that came out, I was like feeling really good about myself. But no, Lions look strong. Jared Goff looked a little shaky the first couple drives, made me super nervous. And I was like, oh no, everything's going down the drain. But they shook the cobwebs off and figured it out. David Montgomery was unbelievable. I know Gibbs fantasy owners are hurting today, but it was really impressive to see David Montgomery in a system that was going to really use him. And then obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown being the icon that he is. It was really exciting. I'm excited to watch the Lions this season. And in regards to the Chiefs, I don't know if it's time to panic yet. If it was just like an opening weekend thing. Obviously, he didn't have his main target. He's getting used to this wide receivers. Like by next week, it's Patrick Mahomes. He could have it figured out. But also, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes has never lost a season opener, not even in college. He's like usually perfect in September. And this is obviously what we're not used to seeing from him. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
Absolutely. So yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth when you said, I don't know if it's time to panic yet. Cause that's what it's kind of where I'm at. That's what I was going to ask you, what you thought. This is my question. Do other teams in the NFL now watch that game, go back and watch that on tape? And when Kelsey is healthy, just double him. And the game plan on defense now turns into not just, obviously it's always stopping Patrick Mahomes, right? Like Dan Campbell said last night, that's always the game plan. You know that. But now out in coverage, Travis Kelce, just put as many dudes as you physically can on him and make Patrick Mahomes throw it to somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I feel like that has to be the case. And I don't know, knowing Andy Reid, I do feel like he's going to make a push and go out and try and get some receiver. Like, imagine if by the end of next week they steal Mike Evans, who has been very vocal about wanting out of Tampa Bay. And obviously he's older, but he's still Mike Evans.
Yeah,
like
he's
Mike Evans
and millions of miles above anything they currently have at receiver.
Exactly. So imagine they get Travis Kelce could play again next week. So imagine they get Travis Kelce back. And I don't know if they'd actually go out and get Mike Evans, but just knowing how Andy Reid operates and knowing what Patrick Mahomes wants, I have a feeling they are going to make a push to get someone else because, I mean, Kadarius Toney was god awful. You can't rely on Sky Moore. It's just, it's not a best case scenario for them. But yeah, no, if I'm every other team in the NFL, I am taking a note out of Dan Campbell's book. And I think the main thing with the Lions too, they were just creative on every play. Like they were using different people in different ways. And if they were using the same guy, it was different than the first time they used them. And I feel like, and the Chiefs O-line is also like unbelievable. So the fact that they were even able to get away with as much as they were, it just shows that there are holes on this team, which we haven't seen in a while. So yeah, no, if I'm any other team in the NFL, I'm watching that on repeat and just, you really just have to get creative and be ballsy against the Chiefs. Like when they went for it in their own, on their own 20-yard line, when the fake punt, it like the beginning of the game. And I was like, this is how you win. It was that moment where I was like, I feel very good about all my bets in this game. That was kind of like the definitive, like they can do this.
I mean, that was awesome. He's on his own 17-yard line. Put your nuts on the table. Fake punt. We're going for it. But then he punts it on like the Chiefs 43 or something like that, where it's like, okay, come on. Like if you're going to do it on your own 17, you won't do it when you're in plus territory. Make it make sense. But then I was like galaxy braining myself sitting on my couch last night. Like, well, you know, obviously that's why he's not doing it, because they're expecting him to do it. And, you know, the reverse, you know, I'm just getting too into the weeds with it. We don't need to look into my brain, but I was impressed with the Lions, man. Like, looks like they found a pretty decent tight end in Sam Laporta. Brian Branch, I remember a guy you talking about on this show saying you wanted on the Eagles, coming up with that pick six, making a huge difference. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a monster. And I mean, I love Jared Goff too. Like he gets a lot of hate, but I think he's handled this whole Lions situation very well. And you know, I think they're going to be, I think they have just as good of a chance as any to win the North, any of the teams, and compete for a playoff spot, which is so weird to say. But as far as the Chiefs going to get a receiver, yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Like, oh, Andy Reid has to be calling Mike Evans right now. So I don't know, but the Chiefs have to do something, because you can't just force feed it to Kelce on every play, which is what it seems like they're going to have to do. Obviously, this is only one game. I'm sure they'll bounce back, whoever they play next week, and look just fine. And of course, it's the first game of the year. It's on prime time, so you have all the eyes on it. So we're going to overreact, but it is hard not to when Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, I think, dropped an infinity, like just every single ball they got. I think Toney had one catch for -1 yard or something like that. So something's got to change for the Chiefs. But I have a feeling they'll be okay. but also I did, as a Bears fan, I really felt kind of vindicated a little bit when it's like, okay, yeah, maybe Matt Nagy is a problem. He is now back in Kansas City as their offensive coordinator. And you cannot tell me he was not the one that called that third down play where the tight end came under center. That had Matt Nagy at BU written all over it.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So Thursday Night Football was a great game. Hopefully Sunday and Monday we get more great games.
Good matchups for week 1. I'm happy with them.
Absolutely. I actually have the matchups pulled up. Bengals, Browns, super solid.
Yeah.
Texans, Ravens, not as much. Vikings, Buccaneers, not interesting. I'll say that. Cardinals, Commanders, no, but Panthers, Falcons. I'm really not helping myself after I said good matchups here.
I was talking for Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football.
Okay.
The prime time games, 2 divisional games, kick off the season. Those are good. The rest of the matchups, like the all Sunday, it's going to be interesting. They don't sound super appealing, but I feel like when they don't sound sexy immediately, that's when you usually get these like wild games.
That's a great point. My week 1 will be, I'll either be on top of the world or wanting to jump off a building. Bears, Packers. I was listening to Pardon My Take, and Big Cat was like, yeah, I say this all the time, but this is the biggest game in Bears franchise history because it's so much on the line for Justin Fields. It's Jordan Love's first start for the Packers. I will say no Christian Watson. Romeo Dobbs is doubtful. But Eagles, Patriots, that's a good game. Let's go into it. What are your expectations for the Eagles this season? Hit me with it. Obviously you guys are coming off the Super Bowl. You were incredible last year. Still got to be riding that high a little bit, but also, looking for some revenge. You got all the way to the big game and fell just a little bit short. I personally blame the sod father. Definitely Kansas City Chiefs groundskeeper conspiracy, but that's not what this podcast is about today. Expectations for the Eagles this season. Hit me with it.
I am still very high on them coming into the season. I feel like I'm kind of in the same spot that I was last year prior to the season starting, where I was like, I genuinely think we're going to be very, very good. I was like, we win the NFC East. I think we make a good playoff push. Like, I was so excited. And I remember my mom telling me, like, we're going to go 12-5. And I was like, I think like 10-7, 11-6. I was like, we're going to be good, but I didn't have, we started the season 11-0. Like, we just completely came out and dominated. It was absolutely unbelievable. And I do think we're still going to be very, very solid this year. I don't expect this wild, crazy, dominant start. I do think we're going to be a little shaky at first. We lost our offensive coordinator. We lost our defensive coordinator, and we lost a lot of players and pieces. The good news about that is we basically backfilled everything that we lost, and I'm feeling really good about our new additions, but it's going to be a transition. So I'm trying to not keep my expectations too high. I still believe that we could easily go back to the Super Bowl this year, but only because we're in the NFC. So it'll be easier to get there compared to the AFC. Not as much competition to weave through. But yeah, no, I think we're going to be really good. Record predictions this year, I say 12-5.
All right. I like it. Talk to me. Sidney Brown, my guy from Illinois, safety. He going to play?
I think so. We're going to need him.
Cool. I just saw you had a pretty good preseason.
He had a great preseason. I really liked, and I went to an Eagles practice and saw a lot there, and everything I was seeing was very exciting, I'll say.
Good. It was just everything he meant to the Illinois program and just the time he put in and the amount of games he played and the shit he went through as far as being really shitty as a team to being, getting to be really good was cool to see him succeeding. So let's thoughts on the week 1 matchup with the Pats. I think Eagles 3.5, which I thought was too low. Yes, so I'm hammering it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, this like feels like a try. I opened my app and I was expecting it to be 6.5, 7.5, and I saw 3.5. Earlier today I was seeing 4. I think it's back to 3.5. But yeah, feels really tight. And like I said, I feel like we're going to be a little slower to start this season than we were last season, but still the Patriots don't scare me right now. I don't think they're a team that really is a huge threat. And maybe that's me again riding the high from how we were last year, but
Right.
I thought we easily win this game by 7-10. Like not like I could see like a 27-17 situation, not a 27. My brain is not here yet.
It's okay.
Like a 23-17 kind of situation, 24-17, like something in that range, like where we have a hefty, like, I don't know, 3.5, 4 is not enough in my opinion. I think that's a lock. That's a huge lock. And I also got some player props for the Eagles. One, I saw Jalen Hurts 40 plus rushing yards, all over that.
Hammer.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts 2+ passing touchdowns. Hammer. Yeah, screw it. We're going with it. DeAndre Swift, 30 plus rushing yards. This season, I do think that Gainwell is going to be our consistent RB. Well, like I think he is going to be our guy. I drafted him in both of my fantasy leagues, so I'm super excited about that. But I do think DeAndre Swift, there's a little hype around it. I think they're going to kind of sneak it to him a little bit, and he's going to have a day. And then I also like AJ Brown, 75 plus receiving yards.
I love it. So we got some player props. I am also on the Eagles -3.5. I also have them part of a teaser.
Ooh.
So I already hit the first leg last night. I adjusted the Lions to 11.5. I got the Commanders down to 0, so just money line, and then
Nice.
I have the Eagles +3 is the last leg of it. It's just like a +120 teaser, which I think I'm going to be into those this year. I like teasers, but I love those picks. I'm definitely going to follow your player props. I have Devonta Smith in one of my leagues. I have Jalen Hurts in one of my leagues.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, I'm definitely rooting for them this season. And you said something that I resonate with. It feels like a trap, right? When it doesn't make sense, it's always like, okay, what does Vegas know that I don't? Which is a lot, I want to point out, because I don't know much. But it just doesn't seem right. I'm not 100% sold on the Pats. Give me the Eagles. I'm taking the spread.
Thank you. If it makes you feel better, I am also all over the Bears this weekend too. So
me too.
Me united.
Too. Or just we're so connected. We might we'll throw in a little 2-team parlay. Bears. I think I'm just going to take Bears money line. I think the spread currently is at 1.5. It might have. It's probably going to move because they just announced a couple hours ago Watson is out, and then Dobbs might not play. So, yeah, no, I'm super high on the Bears. My expectations for them, though, like I'm similar to you. Like I don't want to get my hopes up too high for them just to be crushed. Like, let's be honest, they won 3 games last year, so it's really not hard to top that. They went out, they got DJ Moore. He has more weapons around him. Justin Fields is primed for another big season. There's a lot of people around the league that are super high on this guy. He just signed a deal with Reebok. He's going to be the face of bringing Reebok back to the NFL, which is interesting. But you know what? I'm just happy to be here. That's what I'm going to say for my expectations until tomorrow when I'm fucking not tomorrow, Sunday, when I'm fucking losing my mind, yelling at the TV while they're playing the Packers. So expectations, try not to get too high. I think if they win 6 games, like you're like, all right, anything 6 and up is like, you're just ecstatic. I think, I don't know if you win the division. I think they're going to be like frisky. You know what I mean? They're going to be like one of those teams where it's like, they're going to hang around in some games and we'll see. I loved the additions on defense, obviously, too, with Edmonds and everybody they brought in there. Actually, TJ Edwards, sorry.
I know. I hated that.
But he's a local Chicago guy, so give me a pass on that. So
take good care of him.
We will. We definitely will. Week 1, Bears, Packers, Justin Fields, Jordan Love, his first official start. He's missing a couple weapons. basically my thoughts on this are, as long as the Bears can, hold up the run, like stop the run game, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Go out there and score 21, 28 points, and I think you win this game pretty easily. And I'm obviously I'm biased. You can look at my shirt. I am a huge Bears fan. I fucking hate the Packers, okay, to my core. So I could very well be wrong, but just in my gut, his number one weapon is not playing. His number two option isn't going to be there either. Bear down against the run and see what you can do. So I totally forgot to change the banner, but it is what it is at this point. I'm taking Bears money line. I like the over as well. I think that's worth a look. I feel like some points are going to be scored. Well, actually, no. I got to think about that again. I don't know if the Bears.
Yeah, it's a high over.
Yeah.
I think the Bears can easily get 21-28. I don't know if the Packers are going to be able to put up much.
Yeah. Now, yeah, actually, yes, because I just contradicted myself there. His number one weapon's out. I'm not going to touch the total. Maybe I go for a Bears team total. I need to look to see what
because
that
right
would
now
be
it's
worth
at 41.5, which means like they both gotta. I mean, unless the Bears just come out and put up 30 something,
right? Which we'll see.
Low-key,
maybe. So my bets for this game, I've got a few. Okay. Bears money line. I'm gonna ride with that. When I got it, it was at 116. Very well could have changed. Justin Fields anytime touchdown score plus 160. Justin Fields first TD score plus 750. I feel like if the Bears get the ball first, get a little frisky, there's no telling if he could get loose at any moment. I'm going to take my chances, throw a couple bucks on that.
Andy, do you even know how much I love Justin Fields? Like, if I told you,
I don't know if we've talked about it extensively, but
oh my God, I am so high on him coming in to this season. Like, I think full on, like we saw like highlights of it last year, but I think this year is going to be a Justin Fields breakout season. And your team overall, I don't know if you're good enough or not good enough. I shouldn't say it that way. Competitive enough right now to win the North. I think it's going to get tight. The North, I said, is the most competitive division in the NFL right now because you can make an argument for every single team to win. Like there's an argument for the Bears. Obviously, there's an argument for the Vikings, Lions, and Packers too. Like Packers, I mean, we don't know what to expect for them, but maybe they come out sneaky. Like we just don't know.
Right.
But yeah, no, I really think we are going to see great things from Justin Fields this season.
I love it. I'm super high on him too. And it's kind of at this point, if you're a Bears fan, like why not? Like, let's be all in. Like, what are you rooting against the guy for?
Yeah.
So you're going to tell I'm super high on him because I have another Justin Fields bet. Over 59.5 rush yards. I'm going to bet on him to score a touchdown every fucking game. And I'm going to take his rush yards every game just because the amount of like big plays that he is capable of with his legs is just insane. And I do expect him to throw the ball a little bit more this year, seeing as he has DJ Moore, but he's still, when he gets out of the pocket, just watch out. Like the guy, he's a freak athlete. And I was at the Bears Lions game last year. I watched him in person break off a 50+ yard run. So, and that gets in my brain forever. So I'm all in on this guy. I'm so happy to hear that you like him too. And then my last pick for this game will be DJ Moore anytime touchdown plus 185. They were all over each other in the preseason. They seem to have already developed a pretty decent connection. It'll be his Bears debut. I like him to get loose for one as well. I think you're getting a pretty decent price at it.
Are you guys home too?
Yeah, we're at home.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So home game, Packers, week 1. Your number one receiver, your brand new weapon there for Fields. I like them both to get across the end zone. And like I said, I think the Bears 21 points, 28 points, I think does it. I think wins the game. Stop the run and then, limit the mistakes, limit the big plays. And I think you're in a really good spot. A lot easier said than done. We'll see how it goes, but I am fired up. to watch it. Not just the Bears. I'm fired up for the rest of the week because I get to go through and, like you said, be a degenerate, make some picks. So do you want to give yours out first and then I'll go after you, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, wait, are we going through every game, or are we just giving a couple locks?
I have a bunch. I have like 12 spreads.
Should we just go through every game and like give our picks?
Yeah, let's do it. So
All
let's start with Bengals Browns. You got anything?
Bengals Browns. Let me look at it. Joe Burrow is expected to play now.
He's playing. Yeah.
Bengals -2.
Yeah, I got it at 1.5 earlier. So I'm there with you. I think it's going to be a close game. We'll see. I mean, first year of Deshaun Watson last year in Cleveland, it didn't go great.
Yeah.
This will be the first. Ugly. This will be the first full year. So we'll see. But yeah, we're in agreement here. I'm on the Bengals, and it's similar to what we're talking about with the Eagles. It doesn't feel like enough points, but we'll see. So that'll be the first one. Texans Ravens. You have anything in that game?
Ravens. Literally, like bet my entire life on the Ravens. What's the spread? How much are they actually getting?
10.
Yeah, no, I think you could do Ravens -20, and this would hit. So.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna stay away from the game personally, just because I don't know. I do feel like they're gonna win. I just don't love it. You know what I mean?
Do you think? What's your expectations?
I think the Ravens are gonna win. The Texans are bad, but I feel like Stroud could get loose for a couple, and I don't. Well,
what's the over in this? That might be fun.
Let me check the over.
I see at 43.5. I kind of like
that. Might be worth a sprinkle.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm going to sprinkle that because I do agree. But also, this is the first time that Lamar Jackson's had like an actual like built out team. And now they have Zay Flowers. He has OBJ. He's got Mark Andrews. Like he's got all his guys now. J.K. Dobbins. He's back, right?
He's in. Yeah, he's healthy.
So, like the Ravens are a complete offense for the first time in a long time.
Well, Mark Andrews still questionable
for
week 1. So let's put a pin in that.
Put a pin in Ravens.
He could still play, and I hope he does because I have him on a couple fantasy teams.
Yeah.
But I'd be most comfortable. I think you're right with the over here.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think the Ravens can beat the Texans by 10 points. I don't know. But I love your take that they could win by 20 because we should check to see what Ravens by 20 would pay out. I bet it'd be pretty decent.
I may have to do it.
Buccaneers at the Vikings. Baker Mayfield's debut for Tampa Bay. The Vikings are getting 5.5, and I'm going to lay that every day of the week. This is a Kirk Cousins 1:00 game. Kind of just in the mix with everybody else where, I love the Vikings here.
Yeah, no, I think Baker Mayfield had his moment when he like flew to LA and played for the Rams and had this gorgeous drive. Like that was Baker's moment. And now I think it's done. Also, there's just a lot of bad vibes coming out of Tampa right now. Like we talked earlier about the Mike Evans situation. I don't know. I'm not feeling good about it, but I am sorry for you. Fortunately, feeling good about the Vikings in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel great about the Vikings. I feel like Justin Jefferson is a guy that's worth us a look for a touchdown pretty much every game.
Yeah.
Speaking of anytime touchdown scorers, I was looking, and Derrick Henry to score a touchdown this week is -160 on FanDuel. Like that is ridiculous. Obviously I haven't shopped those lines anywhere else.
Yeah.
But just that's not them guaranteeing he's going to score a touchdown, but it's just not even worth.
It's not worth touching.
You're right.
That removes the fun of an anytime touchdown scorer.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move on to the next game. We're pretty in lockstep here so far.
Yeah.
Panthers Falcons. This is another game I don't really have anything for.
No.
Just because, people are a little bit higher on the Falcons this year. Panthers, they did try to put some weapons around Bryce Young, right? With Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders. a couple other guys. So I like I think the Falcons win.
Yeah.
I
I
think
like Miles Sanders for an anytime touchdown. I like that a lot.
I mess with that. I'd rock with that. Let me pull up FanDuel actually, so I can see if the spreads have changed at all. Panthers, Falcons. Let's see. This is great podcasting. Falcons minus 3.5.
I feel like I wouldn't touch it because I feel like it could easily be a field goal game.
Exactly. Over under 39.5.
I feel like the only thing I want to touch from this game, I would do Falcons money line and I would do Miles Sanders anytime touchdown. That's where I would stay.
Yeah. Next game, Cardinals Commanders. Commanders minus 7. This is my lock. I don't like it. Arizona starting Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah.
They're like actively trying to lose this year. I'm taking the Commanders. I don't know. I just feel like they can easily win this game by a touchdown. I picked them in my survivor pool. So yeah, I'm all in on Washington this week.
Yeah, no, and like I said this in my YouTube video when I was breaking down every division. Obviously, Commanders are one of my rivals, and I put them in last in the NFC East. But I said if they were in any other division, I low key think that they would have a chance to like if the Commanders were in the NFC South, they'd win it, kind of thing.
9 games is going to win the South this year.
Exactly. So like I do think the Commanders aren't going to be awful. And yeah, in this game, this is like made for them.
I'm pretty sure Scary Terry is confirmed. He's playing.
Nice.
He'd be a guy I wouldn't be opposed to throwing in a anytime touchdown or taking a look at his receiving yards.
Honestly, Dotson might be a sneaky anytime touchdown scorer, especially if Terry isn't fully back.
Yeah, I'm pretty. A lot of people are really high on him this year.
I got him in a fantasy league, and I'm hoping it pays off.
Yeah, I think I got him. I got him on the bench. I got him like kind of like late in one of mine. I was surprised he was still available. We'll move on to Jags and Colts.
Jags. I'm betting my life on the Jags.
I love it.
This is Jags minus 4.5 is my lock.
I'm all in on that. I'm hammering it as well.
And that's coming from someone who loves Anthony. You know how much I love
Anthony Richardson. You are a big Anthony Richardson supporter.
But the Jags, I'm very, very high on the Jags coming into this year. And Anthony Richardson, I love him. I know where his ceiling is. I know how much talent he has, and he is going to get there. But there are things that he needed to tweak. And like I'm pretty sure I said this on your show. I really wanted him to go to a team that kind of had a veteran presence and he could sit behind for at least like half the season.
Right.
And obviously we're not getting that. The Colts are putting everything into him now, which is like great, pop off king. But at the end of the day, like it is going to take him a minute to adjust to the pace of the NFL. I mean, when he played the Eagles in preseason, like they won, but the Colts didn't look that good, and it was like Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman against like Eagles third string. Exactly. So like they won, but it wasn't intimidating enough for like your starters versus my third string. So I think it's going to take the Colts a minute, and the Jags I think are phenomenal. So Jags all the way.
Well, I mean the Colts they have no player on their roster over 30 years old. They're just not in a position right now to win a lot of games, and the Jaguars are actively trying to win. So I will take the team that is trying to win against the team that doesn't really care if they do or not. So we'll move on to 49ers versus the Steelers. I like the over in this game. It's 41.5. It feels low. Anything for you?
I like the Steelers in this.
It feels like a sneaky Steelers game.
Right. Like Steelers would do this. Like they would win this game.
Absolutely.
And I think the Steelers are an underrated team. I feel like they're getting overshadowed by Bengals and Ravens, which like valid. I do think they are better teams.
Sure.
But I do think the Steelers are going to be nice.
So 49ers are getting 2.5. So they're
money line.
Steelers money line plus 110. I don't hate it. They're the home team. I think that's worth a look. I'm going to take the over because I feel like both these teams can easily score 20 plus points in this game. But yeah, so let's go to Titans and the Saints. Talked about this a little bit earlier. The anytime touchdown score market in this game is not one that I think I'm going to touch. 2+ for Derrick Henry, maybe, but still, if one is -160, you're not getting a good number on 2.
Yeah.
So
that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I know. Saints are getting 3 points. They're at home. Over under is 41.5.
I think I'm going to be a fraud here because I think the first time I picked this game, I took the Saints, but now I'm taking the Titans.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see what I actually end up doing on Sunday morning.
Right.
But I mean, Saints are home, but I don't know. Kamara's still suspended, right?
Yeah, I think six games.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Titans.
Cool. That's it's tough because it's like, okay, you bring Tannehill back. What do you really have? But you got DeAndre Hopkins now on the outside who kind of has a chip on his shoulder. Did you see the story where he's like, I reached out to the Chiefs, the Lions, the Giants, somebody else saying like, hey, I'm interested in coming there, and none of them called him back.
That's insane to me. Especially, do you know how much the Chiefs are probably kicking themselves right now?
Are you kidding me?
You gave up on a Patrick Mahomes, DeAndre. Not that I would have wanted him to go to the Chiefs, but like if you're the Chiefs, that's a good deal.
So I think that's like worth a look, like him, DeAndre Hopkins revenge season. So yeah, I definitely could see the Titans winning this game. I don't know if I'm going to play anything. Obviously,
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna touch it.
It's going to be 11:50, and I'm going to be like, oh, I need more action, and I will be fucking. I'll probably put something in. We'll see, but it's something to think about.
Yeah.
Raiders, Broncos, Jimmy G versus Russell Wilson. It's in Denver. Sean Payton's debut as the Broncos head coach. 3.5 for the Broncos. 3.5, and then over under is 43.5.
I just hate that it's in Denver because everything in me wants to play the Raiders. But also, I'm going to take the Raiders because that's divisional. They play there a lot. I'm going to take the Raiders. Overall this season, I think the Broncos are going to be better than they were last year. But things feel like a little tense there, right? Like, did you see what Sean Payton, he was calling everybody out on it, and I love Sean Payton. But it was coming out very hot. And I don't know how they're going to respond to it. It's going to go one of two ways, where it completely works and everyone gets their shit together, or everyone's going to be like a little nervous and standoffish and it's not going to work. But I don't know. For game one, I'm going to go Raiders.
Yeah, I like the Raiders to cover. I think 3.5 is a good number.
Yeah.
I can easily see this being a field goal game. I do think Wilson will have a bounce back year. I like Sean Payton.
Yes.
He's proven that he's a good coach. He kind of just tells it like it is, honestly.
Stop kissing babies.
Which telling Russell Wilson to lighten up isn't the worst advice anybody's ever given somebody.
Genuinely. Now we know if there's a press conference after a horrible loss and Russell Wilson goes Broncos country, let's ride. Sean Payton's gonna slap him across the face and walk around.
Shit. And there's actually some drama in the Raiders locker room as well.
Chandler Jones.
The Chandler Jones apparently locked out of the building, can't work out there. Is having to go to like a public gym to work out. So trouble in paradise there. Not great.
Yeah.
Game we already talked about, so we won't spend too much time on it. Eagles, Patriots, we're both on the Eagles -3.5. Feels like not enough points.
Yeah. Yes. I'm probably going to do an alternate spread of at least Eagles -7.
Oh, I love it. Next up, Rams, Seahawks. I'm on the Seahawks -4.
Heavy.
Again, it's a team that's trying to win versus a team that I guess I won't necessarily say the Rams are trying to lose. I just don't they're not good. Like they just don't have the talent this year. Dolphins, Chargers.
Game of the week.
Game of the week. Okay. I'm on the over. Give me points in this game.
Yes.
Over 50.5. I want to see deep bombs on both sides. Tyreek Hill needs to get loose. Let's see fucking Keenan Allen or Mike Williams get loose for one as well.
Yeah.
I am on the over, like I said, and then the spread is 3. So Chargers are favored by 3. I don't know if I'd touch the spread either. I think we just play the over and we root for points. So it's just fun. Like it doesn't, because I genuinely, either team can win this game 100%.
I might end up doing like a Justin Herbert or Tua passing yards. I don't know where they're at right now, but I can see myself doing something like that. But these are two teams that I love rooting for. Like I have a soft spot for each of them, and they're both so fun to watch that I don't care who wins. I just want a great game.
Absolutely. It's the meme of the person in the sideline at a game with the sign or the shirt that says like I just hope both teams have fun. I love it.
That's
so we're on the over 50.5 for that. Next up, only a couple games left. So a game we teased earlier, the Sunday night game, Giants Cowboys. The Cowboys are currently favored by, I believe, 3.5.
I like Giants plus 3.5.
I love the Giants plus 3.5, and I love Giants money line plus 152.
I would love that.
Here it is. There, I knew I had it down. So plus 3.5, and then it was plus 154 earlier when I did this. It's plus 152 now. I think they have a great chance of winning this game. Saquon kind of in a prove it year, right? And people are really high on Daniel Jones. I did see today Darren Waller on the injury report, which is like, that is the one thing with that guy. He is addicted to getting injured. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah. No, and I really wanted to take him in fantasy this year. And the reason I didn't was just because I've been let down. I feel like I always take him and I always get like, come on, Darren Waller, play. And I didn't want to do that to myself again, especially when he's in my division. So I steered away from it. But seeing that today made me nervous because I've been all over the Giants all week. But we'll see. He's still questionable. There's a chance.
Yeah, it's as of this recording, Friday evening, he is questionable. So there is a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. And we move on to the last game, Monday Night Football. This is going to be an awesome game. Bills minus 2.5 at the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers' debut for the Jets, the revitalized New York Jets. Bills are getting 2.5. Josh Allen coming to town. I like the Bills here. And this is bias for me, obviously, because I like Josh Allen more than I like Aaron Rodgers. I do have Aaron Rodgers in fantasy this year. I actually do think the Jets are going to be really good. I'm not 100% confident in this spread. I think this is simply me I like the Bills. I want to root for the Bills here.
I'm taking the Jets in this one. So we can go head to head, which is fun.
Head, which is fun. That's very fun. So I'll take the Bills 2.5. You'll take the Jets plus 2.5.
Yeah. I was gonna go money line.
Okay, no, we can go money line. You should do money line because at that point, 2.5. It's like
it's not
at that. Yeah, exactly.
If you were Bills minus 2.5 is different than Jets plus 2.5.
Exactly.
Like
because
plus 2.5 it doesn't do anything for me.
Exactly. You're 100%. So FanDuel right now, Jets money line plus 120. I would 100% take that over plus 2.5. So
I like it.
Over under 45.5, and I love that as well. I love the over.
Yes.
That
is too low.
I get nervous. Last year, it felt like all the primetime games were just fucking snooze fest. Like it felt like there were some where it's like, oh, how does this over miss? And then it just. So
last night
I did take the over last night.
Yep, I did too.
Yeah. But Buffalo, New York, over 45.5. I'm going to play that. I'm going to take the Bills. Jordy's going to take the Jets head to head. It's I love it. What a way to close out week one. So I shouldn't say tons of good matchups. We established that earlier, but like some intriguing games, some fun games. It's just, again, just happy to be here. love that football is back. Like yesterday, it was like Christmas Day. Even if the game at points was kind of like, what the fuck am I watching? But it ended out the last second half was great. So I think that's it. We gave you our picks. I feel really good about it. We're obviously going to go undefeated. Besides the game we're going head to head doesn't count.
Yes.
Everything else we're gonna win. We 100% know what we're talking about. We can see the future, and see you guys at the bank after this weekend. Jordy, this was so fun. It's always great to get to talk to you. Plug yourself one more time. Oh, actually, before we go, PLL.
Yes, no, there's not just football for us to bet on this weekend. We have PLL playoffs are going on right now. So if you are not on the PLL train, you are hardcore missing out. These are some of the best games to bet. I know Andy's been on the train, so he gets it. He gets it. This weekend, it is semifinals this weekend. And I'm not getting too crazy with it this week. I think there are two clear winners, and unfortunately, it's the favorites. I'm going Water Dogs -1.5, and I'm going Archers -1.5. And then we are going to have the most explosive, fun championship game right in my city of Philadelphia, and the Water Dogs are going to run it back and win it one more time.
I love it. I'm a Water Dogs guy, obviously, because I'm a My Take fan.
Yes.
And Big Cat, Hank, PFT are the owners of the Water Dogs. So, and also it's the coolest nickname in the league for sure.
Amazing. Also, next season, they are being assigned to home cities.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
I am praying. Imagine, you know how Eagles drafted all the Georgia Bulldogs and now we're the Philly Dogs? Mm-hmm. Imagine if the Water Dogs come to Philly and they can also be the Philly Dogs.
I was, secretly hoping they'd come to Chicago, but, I'll be happy with Philly. I'll be happy.
Oh my God, you know what? They might. Oh my God, Big Cat's going to steal them from me.
They very well could. Sorry, Big Cat. He'd say sorry to you, I should say. But
I'll fight him for him.
PLL bets, tune into those, not just football. We're keeping it very versatile in this week one. Unsolicited podcast, YouTube, TikTok. Tell everybody where they can find you, Jordy.
Yes. So Unsolicited, you can find us on YouTube at the Unsolicited Podcast, hosted by Sam and Jordan. Our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Threads is all at the Unsolicited_podcast. And then our Twitter is at Sam and Jordan. And then you can find me everywhere, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anything, Twitter, at the Sporty Jordy.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. This was a blast. We're going to be doing this every week of the NFL season, so I'll have to have you back on at some point. Yes. I'll try to keep track of all the bets we put out. Definitely, we'll have to do something for the head-to-head on Monday night. But I can't thank you enough for being here. Can't thank everyone enough for watching, listening, however you consumed it. I appreciate it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Pods, wherever you get your podcast, the Brew Party is there. www.thebrewparty.com for all of your Brew Party needs. YouTube.com/thebrewparty. Please like and subscribe, comment on this video. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at the Brew Party. Follow us for all of Brew's picks. He's picking all the primetime games for the NFL season. Last season, he went 25-21, making me look like a fucking chump in all the primetime games, including the Super Bowl. This year, he did start off with an L. He took the Chiefs -4.5. We all saw how that worked out. Looking to bounce back on Sunday and Monday night. Stay tuned for that on the socials. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Looking forward to see you for week 2. Jordy, thank you so much. Obviously, we're going undefeated. We are going to see you guys at the fucking bank on Monday after all of this cheddar that is coming our way. Thank you so much. Brew Party episode 110. We're out of here.